non-religious. Color guard forward march. Halt. Prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Please join me in the Scout Oath. Scout sign. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to guard my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Please join me in the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Please join me in the outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, to be careful with fire, to be considerate in the outdoors, and to be conservation-minded. 2. Color guard reform. About face. Return to post. Fall in. Good afternoon and welcome today. We have the pleasure of recognizing and celebrating Matthew Hampton as he attains the Eagle Scout rank. The trail to Eagle is often challenging, requiring the Scout to complete numerous requirements. At each of the 7 ranks, you have to earn at least 21 merit badges while serving in various leadership roles in their troop. They test their skills among their troop in the outdoors, at service events, and within the community. They serve their community well, for service is required throughout a Scout's career. Through Scouting, they learn to be good citizens of our nation, and they learn the values of doing their duty to God and country. These characteristics will not be short-lived. For the saying goes, once an eagle, always an eagle. One must uphold the Scout law and the Scout oath every day, serving and helping those around them. They must show the characteristics and qualities of the eagles who came before them and live as examples of those who will come after them.
Let us pray. Gracious God, you pour out your abundant blessings on us every day. We ask for your presence in the celebration of Matthew attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Use this ceremony to inspire vision and to encourage his truth to follow in the Eagle path. Help give us well-deserved praise and honor, and to emphasize that becoming an Eagle Scout is not so much a destination, but a way of life. We give thanks for your guidance through the years as these boys and adults work together to build skills for life, developed an appreciation for the outdoors, and learn to trust in the gifts you have given them. You forged the hills and mountains these young men and women have hiked and climbed. Your hands formed the lakes and rivers they swam. You know each animal and plant they watched with wonder and awe. You protected them from the elements, provided the food to cook and eat, and empowered the fires that warmed them. You are the one who sharpens their minds every day to learn skills and facts, how to lead and how to follow. Loving God, continue to watch over Matthew as he becomes a man. Empower him to live these ideals every day. Give us all your wisdom and your love, that we may serve you and one another with the love of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Will the color guard please escort Matthew forward? You can put your chair up here, that's okay. Will Tyler and Elijah please step forward to do the candle ceremony?
The red of my flag is the lifeblood of brave men ready to die or worthily live for this, our country. The white of my flag is for purity, cleanliness of purpose, thought, word, and deed. The blue of my flag is for faith and loyalty, the eternal blue of the star-filled heavens. A scout is trustworthy. A scout's honor is to be trusted. A scout is loyal. He's loyal to all whom loyalty is due. His scout leaders, his household, and his country. A scout is helpful. He must be prepared at any time to save a life, help injured people, and share the home duties. He must do at least one good turn daily. A scout is friendly. He is a friend to all and a brother to every other scout. A scout is courteous. He is polite to all. A scout is kind. He understands there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated. He does not harm or kill anything without reason. A scout is obedient. He follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the laws of the community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobey them. A scout is thrifty. He works to pay his way and to help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources. He carefully uses time and property. A scout is brave. He can face danger even if he's afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks is right, even if others disagree. A scout is clean. He keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He goes around with those who believe in living in these same ideas. A scout is reverent. He is reverent toward God. He is faithful in his religious duties and respects the beliefs of others.
Thank you. You may be seated. I now invite Mr. Kern and the troop scouts forward. For the Trail to Eagle.
Good? Yeah. Thank you. Now, far away loomed the hazy outline of the Eagle Summit, flanked by the lesser ranks that represent star and life. To the newcomer, they are a long way off, but they will come a lot closer as the light of the spirit of scouting continues to spread. Do you remember when you were a new scout and the thought of becoming an Eagle Scout seemed a long way off or even impossible goal to achieve? Look back at the experiences you have encountered in your striving to reach this high achievement. The experience should not be forgotten. You should profit by making sure the adverse ones do not occur again. Experience is a valuable teacher if you will heed its lessons. All the while you were on the trail, we watched you study, and we saw you learn by doing. First, you were only a scout.
I represent a scout. My badge represents the International Brotherhood of Scouting, which I have joined.
Do you remember when you took your first step upon the trail to become an Eagle? With that first step, you began to grow physically, mentally, and morally. You'd started living the Scout Oath and Scout Law. Soon you had attained the Tenderfoot rank.
I represent the Tenderfoot. My 3 points stand for the 3 points of the Scout Oath. Duty to God and to country, duty to other people and to yourself. You will find me on a mariner's compass, forever pointing to the way of the North Star and a safe journey in life. On my face are 2 stars representing truth and knowledge. The shield is an emblem of the nation molded together in justice. And an eagle guards the freedom of my land.
Once inspired by the spirit of scouting, you will not stay a tenderfoot for long. Putting simple achievements behind you, you quickly climb to the rank of second class.
I represent the second class scout. The ends of my scroll are turned up in the lily of smile of the scout. On my face is the motto, be prepared. And suspended from the knot, tied to remind you of the slogan of the Boy Scouts of America, do good to your neighbor.
Some, like you, were stopping to catch their breath before continuing along the trail. You began to study more. You worked harder, and almost before you knew it, you topped the first summit on the trail to Eagle when you received the first class badge.
I am the first class scout. I was a tenderfoot, and I drank my course by the stars of truth and knowledge, and I crowned myself with righteousness of justice. I add my smile that I may be friend to all and bound myself together with the knots and duty to others.
There you found a tempting green meadow by a crystal clear stream bathed in the sun. Here you were tempted to remain. Yes, you could have remained there to live in the first class glory, but your ambition stirred you on. We remember you advancement to Star Scout.
I represent a Star Scout. I am a star. Now that I can stand alone, I have the right to approve my own. To me goes the honor of choosing my field. Before me lies a horizon of endless opportunities.
The trail from first class to star rank was not as difficult as it had seemed. This spurred you on, and again you climbed further. The trail was steeper and less worn. Fewer scouts seemed to be headed in your direction. You looked down and saw the crowds below you. You looked up and saw few above you, and with the same determination which you started to climb, you continued up the trail. Gaining the next summit was not easy. Much leadership, service, and hard work had to be done. Soon, you earned the badge of Life Scout.
I am a Life Scout. I have shown the whole world that scouting is an hour. I have mastered the knowledge of subjects that will benefit my country once all in. I am ready to reach for my wings fly.
While the Life Scout is a much coveted position and deserves much credit, the Eagle Trail does not stop there. It still leads on to the summit. Its pathway narrows and steepens considerably as it winds along the narrow ledge. It becomes tougher and more trying. Many things have to be done in order to conquer these last miles. Additional merit badges were earned. Your leadership and service to others were tested through your Eagle Service Project. Only those with the greatest amount of persistence and courage are able to gain the thrill of victory. You are well on your way to Eagle.
I am the eagle. Since the beginning of time, humankind received my image as a symbol of royalty, power, victory, valor. My strength and courage has inspired humans throughout the ages. Yes, we have watched your character unfold and become manlier. We have watched your leadership expand into a valuable asset. We have watched your mind develop and your wisdom increase. We have watched all these things in you, and now that you are on the threshold of your goals, we welcome you. For you have done your climbing in a true scout-like manner.
The trail is nearly complete. You followed in the steps of the scouts before you and led those, such as your troop members, who followed behind you. The summit awaits.
Thank you. I now invite Mrs. Wyant forward to read 100 Scouts.
Hello. Any one of 100 boys who become scouts, it must be confessed that 30 will drop out in their first year. Perhaps this may be regarded as a failure, but later in life, all of these will remember that they had been in scouting and will speak well of the program. Of the 100, only rarely will one ever appear before a juvenile court judge. 12 of the 100 will be from families that belong to no church. Through scouting, these 12 and many of their families will be brought into contact with the church and will continue to be active all their lives. 6 of the 100 will become pastors. Each of the 100 will learn something from scouting and will all develop hobbies that will add interest throughout the rest of their lives. Approximately one half will serve in the military and in varying degrees profit from their scout training. At least one will use it to save another person's life, and many will credit to saving their own life. 4 of the 100 will reach Eagle rank, and at least one will later say that he valued his Eagle above his college degree. Many will find their future vocation through merit badge work and scouting contacts. 17 of the 100 will become adult leaders and will give leadership to thousands of additional boys. 1 in 4 boys in America will become scouts. But it's interesting to know that the leaders of this nation in business, religion, and politics, 3 of the 4 were scouts. The story will never end. Like the golden pebble of service dropped into a human sea, It will continue to radiate in ever-widening circles, influencing the characters of men through unending time.
Thank you. Would Mr. Arnold please come forward to give the call to an Eagle Scout, call of the Eagle Scout.
I am the voice of the eagle. I speak for the eagles, whose summit you have struggled so hard to reach. We remember well when you first came to the base of our mountain, and how you looked up with ambition and determination. Pause for a moment and look back over the trail you have climbed. Look back at the adventures you have encountered on your ascent. These experiences are a valuable teacher if you but heed them. We remember when you took your first steps upon the Boy Scout trail. With your first step, you began to start living the Scout oath and law. You began to build yourself physically, mentally, and morally. Your brother scouts then called you a tenderfoot. And you were right, for you were indeed a tenderfoot. But not for long. As you climbed, you soon reached a turning in the trail, and you were greeted by a large group of friendly second-class scouts. Some, like yourself, were stopping to catch their breath before continuing along the trail. But you studied more, you worked harder, you continued your climb, and soon came to another turning, the place where first-class scouts dwell. There you found a green, flowered meadow close by a crystal clear stream, sparkling in the sunshine. Many other scouts rested beside the murmuring waters. You were tempted to remain, but your ambition spurred you, and you continued your upward journey. We next remember your progress when you turned the trail to become a Star Scout. You found the trail from first class had been an optical illusion, not so difficult as it had first seemed. This inspired you to push onward, to climb higher. But now the trail was steeper and less traveled. Fewer scouts seemed to head in your direction. You looked back and saw crowds below you. You looked up and saw very few above. Yet, with the same determination as you started your climb, now enhanced by experience and firm resolve, you continued to push up the trail. Soon, you turned another corner on the trail, and the heart-shaped badge of the Life Scout was placed on your uniform. You will always recall the thoughts in your heart at this moment. It has been experienced by all scouts reaching the ledge of life. Now I am close to Eagle. I will carry on. But the trail now grows tougher and fainter. Many seem to falter along the way. The original simple principles of the Scout oath and law take on a fuller meaning as your understanding grows greater. We have watched your character unfold and become manlier. We have watched your leadership ability expand into a valuable asset. We have watched your mind develop and your wisdom increase. Yes, we have watched all these things in you. And now that you are standing at the summit of the trail, in the glory of sunshine, wind and cloud at the threshold of your goal, we applaud you and welcome you, for you have done your climbing in a true Scout-like manner.
Thank you. I now invite Mr. Ringers forward to give the Eagle Scout Challenge.
The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that a Scout is trustworthy, In the very first point of the Scout Law, for good reason, an Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important to him, but also because of the vital significance of the example he sets for other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his church, his troop, and his community. May the white of the Eagle badge remind you to always live with honor. The second obligation of the Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and brother Scouts makes him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty that means devotion to the community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but also the determination to stand up for what is right. Trusting in God with faith in his fellow humankind, he looks forward to each day, seeking his share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you to always have courage. The fourth obligation of the Eagle Scout is to be cheerful, to remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile. The red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the Second Class Scout Award, which has its ends turned up in a smile. The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still toil up in Scouting's trail, just as the others helped him in his climb to the Eagle. The performance of the daily good turn takes on a new meaning when he enters a more adult life of continuing service to others. The Eagle stands a protector of the weak and helpless. He aids and comforts in the unfortunate and the oppressed. He holds the rights of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his best. You deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest award, but wear your award with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and the Scout Law be your guide for tomorrow and onward.
Thank you, Mr. Ringrose. Would Mr. Hampton step forward and give the Eagle charge?
I have the honor of giving you the Eagle Scout charge on the occasion of elevation to the highest award in Scouting. And I would ask that all Eagles in the room please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me. Eagle Scouts. Okay. The Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most meaningful. Actually, you may put your hands down. We are not there yet. I apologize. The Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most meaningful and significant movements in the world's history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to country, to your fellow Scouts, and to all of humankind. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your fellow Scouts. The United States of America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend on qualities she instills in her citizens. As an Eagle Scout, you are prepared to help America in all that she needs most. Her past is filled with actions of men like you. You are here to make her future even greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn decision, or solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the high level of service to God and your fellow citizens. We have too many who use their strength and their intellect to exploit others for selfish gains. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and ability to the common good. Build America on the solid foundations of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. Whatever others may do, I charge you to leave behind you a record of which every citizen may be proud. Matthew, you have heard these responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. Are you willing to accept these responsibilities and make this promise? I now invite all Scouts to stand, all Eagle Scouts to stand with me and join our newest Eagle as we make the Eagle Charge. Please raise your right hand, get the Scout sign. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training and example, my rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this, I give my sacred honor. 2, your conduct along the trail has been excellent, but one more thing is important: your future. As an Eagle Scout, you become a guide to other Scouts. You become an example in your community. Remember that your actions are now a little more conspicuous, and people will expect more of you. To falter in your responsibility would reflect not only on you, but your fellow Eagles and all of Scouting. The torch you carry is not only yours, but it is also ours. Thank you.
Thank you. I now ask Mrs. Wyatt to read The Legend of the Rose. Would the color guard please escort the Scout's mother to his side?
The other Scout's mother. Okay. The Legend of the Rose. Throughout Scouting's history, the rose has been associated with the presentation of the eagle. The path of a boy from Scout to Eagle is long and oftentimes hard. He does not travel the trail to Eagle alone. Many people have been involved with him in this process. There is one person in particular that is honored in addition to the Eagle Scout, and that person is his mother. From the first overnight campout to the pinning on of his eagle, she has shared the adventures of Scouting along with her son in a special way. With her guidance and encouragement, she has helped her son achieve a goal many fail to reach. Just as he learns and grows along this journey, she learns to let go Step back and watch him gain confidence in his endeavors. She has watched her son mature from a young boy to a young man with a purpose in his life. She has been there to encourage his excitement of camping and hiking with his brother scouts. She has washed load after load of dirty clothes brought home from camping trips. But most important of all, she has been there for her son when the going got rough and spirits low, as only a mother can. Her love has been an important ingredient in her son's achievement. We honor her today with the presentation of 7 red roses, each rose a symbol of each rank of the 7 ranks of scouting. Matthew, please present the roses to your mother.
Thank you, Mrs. Wyant. I would now ask Mr. Wyant to give the Eagle presentation.
Back over here. Before the Eagle Award is bestowed upon you, I'm going to ask the color guard to please escort your father up to by your side. That's this guy. Sorry, guys, had to. The time has finally come, and the honor of pinning the eagle on your uniform rightfully falls upon to the people most responsible for your being here, your parents. I think you were supposed to stay up here. We'll save you guys. While your mother has been the constant source of love, encouragement, and support, your father has undoubtedly been your greatest source of inspiration in your quest for Eagle Award. I'm going to ask that he pin the Eagle Award onto your left pocket. In recognition of the fatherly advice and guidance along the trail to Eagle, I will ask that his Eagle Scout's father now present his son the Eagle Scout certificate and personal letters of commendation through the Chief Scout Executive for Boy Scouts of America. I'll get that spit out eventually. There you go. As a symbol of what his mother has made possible, the court now allows the Eagle to present his mother with the mother pin. As a symbol of what his father has made possible, the court now allows the Eagle to present his father with the father's pin.
Thank you. Along the trail to Eagle Scout is accompanied by several who will guide his journey. I now invite our Eagle the opportunity to present his mentor pins.
May I have Mr. Kern, Mr. Ringrose, and Mr. Spears come forward. Paul Dispenza and Brody Gee were also supposed to receive pins for mentorship, but they were unable to be in attendance.
Oh.
Now is the time when any scouts or anyone in the audience can come forward and tell a very brief story or funny memory they have of me. Thank you all for coming as well.
Matthew just told me to come up here and tell a story that he already knows I have. So, well, before, would anyone like to go first? Because I got to think about this, of which one. Mr. Spears. Oh, yeah.
My name is Mark Spears. I'm one of the adult volunteers, and I've done many of these over the years. And one time I came up and talked for 25 minutes. I had a lot to say. But I was one of Matthew's merit badge counselors, and I was doing the cooking merit badge with him. And I always tell scouts that they should do the paperwork first and then do the cooking part of it. It makes it a lot easier. And every single one of them has done the cooking first and then done the paperwork because they like to do it the difficult way, I guess. But the first time he came to me with paper, he had all these wadded up, torn up pieces of paper he gave to me. It looked like he went through a dumpster to find some paper to... Your parents are employed. You're not a homeless guy. And also, I should say that a year ago, your mother asked me to come up and make fun of you. So I've been taking notes for the last year. But also, most senior patrol leaders serve for about 6 months or a year with the troop. Matthew has been was a senior patrol leader for about a year and a half. And as far as I know, for about the last 25 years, he was the longest serving senior patrol leader that the troop has had. We did have a scout in 99 and 2000 that served 2 years, but I think you've been the longest one since then, which is...
I tried to step down, and you said, no, you're doing fine. I ran again.
I lie a lot. What can I say? But I would like to congratulate you on becoming an Eagle, and I know that your parents are very proud, and I know how important parents are to Scouts becoming Eagles, so congratulations to you too.
Well, I would like to say, first of all, Matthew found a bag of fruit snacks on the piano, and he is currently eating them, and he passed me one. Second of all, this story is from one of my favorite high adventure trips, the Boundary Waters. And Matthew, he can be described as unhinged sometimes. Most of the time. So, a lot of things happened on that trip. One of my favorite memories, I remember very vividly, we were on Fort Town, which is a lake in the Boundary Waters. The reason it's called Fort Town is because there's 4 logging towns on it. But I remember Matthew and Tristan rowing as fast as they possibly can away from the rest of us who had got caught up in the waves, and I just remember them screaming. I don't know why. They were screaming something, but it was the most vivid sight of them just screaming. Another thing is Matthew, on high adventure trips, he tends to talk about his excrement a lot. And because, I mean, all the guys in the troop, we're convinced he has IBS. Like, it's pretty bad. So so every time he took a poop, he would rate it on 1 out of 10. And that was the highlight of my day, hearing it, 17 times. Hey, Bennett, that poop was a 10. I just want you to know. Like, all right, Matthew. But that's my story. Matthew has been one of my most amazing mentors I've had as a mentor for being SPL and for being, the ranks I want to achieve. Amazing person, and he deserves Eagle 4 times over. I just want to congratulate him. Any other stories? Tyler?
I'm not going to embarrass Matthew too much, but my first camp out with the troop was Turkey Run, and that was very, very important for me for a lot of reasons. I had gone camping there many times as a kid, but I really think the most memorable thing about that trip was my hands being half frozen, stopping for lunch in this place called the Ice Box. We're sitting on this log, and we're trying to get a stove lit. Now, I'm supposed to be operating the valve, and Matthew's supposed to be lighting, so I finally am able to crack open the valve for the stove, and I just keep fumbling it. I can't get it to close. So it's just kind of spilling fuel everywhere. Matthew runs over to help me close it. So, that's all done. In the freaking out, I don't think Matthew really realized that there was fuel leaking all over this log. So he goes to light it and just, boom!
Whoa, it was not that big.
It wasn't that big. It was that big.
I can confirm it was a boom.
It was a foom.
It was a boom.
It was a foom.
It was not a boom.
It was a foom. Anyway, so, I can feel my hands again. They're real warm. All the hairs are singed off. And all the adults all, jump up, absolutely terrified, think that we're going to burn down a state park. Mr. Hampton runs over, puts it out, but that... It's fine. But I think that was one of the least embarrassing, most memorable stories that I have of Matthew. So.
Mr. Kern.
It's funny to sit back there because everything that's been said were things I was thinking about, so I'll try to make this quick. But one, it gives me a chance to come up and publicly say thank you for this honor. This is really meaningful to me. Scoutmaster and Scouts have such an incredible relationship, but I think the day you joined the troop, I stopped being scoutmaster. Okay? There was no connection between those two things. They just happened at the same time. So for you to think of me in this way and not have Bingen in your scout leader is really special. Thank you for that. So, and I really tried hard to think of something kind of a little embarrassing to come up and share with you all, because he's one that can usually be pretty confident, can use a little reminder every once in a while that he does embarrassing things. But I remember the most about him is doing things like this. I can't even articulate the story perfectly, but we were just standing in the parking lot one night, and it was time for announcements, and he was raising money for a charity outside of Scouts. And something at church, I think, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But what I do remember is he says, if I can get to $300, my dad's going to let me dye my hair pink. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I don't know what this charity was, but I remember that.
And that's just the kind of way he went about things, and it was a lot of fun, and it was fun to be around. So I also want to say while I'm here, as Mark touched on, the troop is very grateful to you for the leadership. That's a long time. It's a big commitment. You did a lot of great things, and I want to thank you for that. And I want to just speak on behalf of some of the other adult leaders how proud of you we are for what you accomplished in being here today. We are really proud of you. And then last, real quick, on the Boundary Water trip, you should ask Matthew about the day we got overwhelmed by high winds. It's a pretty neat story, and I'm not going to sit up here and go through the whole thing, but he was very we had, was it 3 boats out that day?
I think we had all. That was the day we went on to Foretown.
Yeah, and we were overwhelmed by the wind, and the first one got around because it was 2 young scouts, and the rest of us got stuck, and we're stuck in different places, and we ended up having to park one boat on an island, go back, get some people, and Matthew was very instrumental in that, just all that. So we got everybody together and got to a safe spot, and Matthew was just really instrumental in helping all that happen. So maybe sometime that's a good story for you to share with some of your family members. But I wanted to bring that up as a memory. It was a challenging day, but at the end of it, we all felt really good about what we had accomplished. So again, congratulations.
Yes, you do. You'll remember. My name is Jim Cherry. I'm actually one of the 5 Scoutmasters here today, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to be the part 2 of Mr. Spears' cooking merit badge story. So you have the planning element that you're supposed to do the paperwork in advance, and then you go, after the planning, go to a camp out and actually cook the meals. Well, we were at Jane Lakes Park, and of course Matthew had all his food, and we were cooking various meals, and one of them was dessert. Yep, he says. And it was this concoction. It was called trail pudding. Okay, and I forget all the ingredients, but I think it was just regular pudding and powdered milk and water. Has anybody eaten sand before? Chocolate flavored sand was probably the best way to describe it. It was very grainy, and it's like, so yes, it fulfilled the requirement. And then there was, I think we had kebabs that night too. And I think we had some leftover tomato and leftover pepper, and the rest of it was meat. So if it wasn't for the leftover pepper and tomato, we would have had meat kebabs. So I told him, well, let's cut everything up and we'll just share what we have. And that ended up pretty good. I think we'd agree with that. We could have used some more tomatoes, some more other vegetables to make it a true kebab, but you had mushrooms? Okay. So anyway, after the event, and I realize this is all for cooking merit badge and you're supposed to be evaluated on it, Matthew sends an email out. Please honestly evaluate my weekend's meals. Remember what I said? Honestly, I said it sucked. I should say it was the pudding that sucked, not the whole weekend, because the rest of it was not too bad. Even though some things were forgotten, etc. And then I got to thinking, you're kind of a chip off the old block. I remember Dad forgot some items on a couple campouts, but anyway, that's another story. Today's about you. So that was probably the stain on my memory that will last forever. But I do want to recognize him. If there were a 13th Scout law, it would be humorous. And I'll never forget all your pickle jokes at Scout meetings. 75. Yeah. And they were actually pretty good, to be quite honest with you. So kind of to wind things down, I want to congratulate you, and I agree with all the other leaders here today. Great leadership. We really appreciated you being a part of the troop. Continue being a part of the troop. I think that's important. As you go to school, live the Scout oath and law, and congratulations on being an Eagle.
Have you guys heard my bear story? Just kidding. So we're at Fort Town, and the first time, Matthew and, one of the other scouts, Reese went out to get water. Yeah. So they're out about 50 yards where they're supposed to be. It's early morning, so they're still half asleep. Reese is filling up the water bottle, and Matthew kind of looks down, and there's this thing kind of just slithering around at the bottom of the boat. Matthew very calmly goes, "Reese, don't get too excited, but there's a snake." Reese rips around, what? Fortunately, he didn't drop the water jug to the bottom of the lake, but they get that back in. Somehow, in all the rustling around, they get an oar underneath the snake and fling it up a little bit. And then Matthew missed his true calling because he fired it 400 yards with his oar across the lake.
It was like 20 feet. It was not.
But that is his bear story.
Any other stories? I want to tell one more. And this is when Tyler Ringrose first joined the troop. It was maybe like his second or third outing, and it was tobogganing at Pokagon State Park. I remember we were waiting to go inside. Everyone was getting out of the cars, and we were sitting in the parking lot. And Matthew, like I said, unhinged. He walks up to Tyler, this little boy, this little teensy boy, and he goes, has anyone heard of the 1-inch punch? Okay, so it's where you go like this, and you punch like that. And he goes into Tyler's chest, and he, without saying a word, just, and little Tyler starts crying.
Not my proudest.
And Matthew just said, "That sucks." And
That is a different story.
but yeah, that's one of my favorite. Any other stories?
He never defied me again.
Oh. I would like to invite Mr. Ringrose forward.
As we gather here today to celebrate the incredible achievement of Matthew, it is fitting that we reflect not only on the accomplishments that have brought us to this moment, but also on the spirit of gratitude that surrounds us, especially as we approach the Thanksgiving season. Thanksgiving is a time when we pause to express our gratitude for the blessings in our lives. It's time to reflect on the journey that has brought us here, just as we reflect on Matthew's journey to Eagle. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, let us be thankful for the support of family and friends who have stood by Matthew throughout his challenging yet rewarding journey. Their encouragement and guidance have been invaluable, shaping his character and his determination. Let us also express gratitude for the scouting community that has been in Matthew's second family. The bonds forged around campfires, the lessons learned on hikes, and the shared commitment to the Scout Oath and Law have played a pivotal role in his growth and development. As Matthew stands before us, adorned with the well-earned badge of the eagle, let this moment serve as a reminder of the importance of gratitude in our own lives. Let us appreciate the beauty of the world around us, the opportunities that come our way, and the strength that resides within each of us to overcome challenges. In the words of William Arthur Ward, gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. So as we celebrate Matthew's remarkable achievement today, let us also give thanks for the journey that has brought us together. May the spirit of gratitude guide us all in our endeavors, and may Matthew's journey continue to inspire us to reach new heights in our own lives. Congratulations, Matthew, and may your path ahead be filled with continued success, purpose, and above all, gratitude.
Thank you. As our formal ceremony is complete, we now turn to a time of sharing as we remember the journey of Matthew that he has taken to arrive at this point. Yes. I now invite the Eagle's grandmother to close us in prayer.
Wait.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh. On behalf of the truth and our appreciation of you and your achievements and time of the truth, we have gifts. You may know what that is.
I think I do.
I
I believe it's a Letterman multi-tool.
And you are correct.
Or a Leatherman. Sorry.
And then also, there is a flag that's been flown over the state capitol on his behalf. And, I'm sorry, not the state capitol, but the capitol. Through Jim Banks' office. So there's a certificate that will come with this. We don't have it now. So I will tell you all, and you, when we ordered it, which we ordered the day after you passed your Eagle Board review, we got a letter from Jim Banks' office saying that we're experiencing delays, but it has been plumbed, it's just not here yet. So that is a temporary contact with the one that's yours, it's going to your honor. But on behalf of the truth, we really want to thank you and congratulate you on your these gifts.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Now, will the Scouts' grandmother please close us in prayer?
Thank you. Let us pray. We thank you, God, for the opportunity to come together as family, friends, leaders, and fellow scouts on this significant day in Matthew's life. We thank you, God, for your support of everyone who has helped guide Matthew on his Eagle Trail. We are grateful for the scouting experiences and opportunities that have led to this day. Help Matthew to live up to the honor, responsibility, and expectations that this Eagle Award represents. Help him wear this title with pride and distinction as an example to others. Help him, Lord, to fly in your presence with the wings of an eagle. Matthew, may you soar. May God's breath fill your wings. And carry you to your destiny. May you continue to grow in wisdom, in stature, and in favor with God and man. May you keep yourself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. May you lead by influence and not by title alone. May you lead with that delicate mix of humility, strength, example, and force. May you build into the lives of other young men and women, future Eagles, for all of your days. And may the great Scoutmaster of all Scouts be with us until we meet again. Amen.
Thank you. Would the color guard please assemble to retire the colors? Please stand. Hats. Attention. Color guard forward march. Halt. Prepare to lower the colors. Lower the colors. Color guard reform. Return to post. Fallout. This is the conclusion of the Court of Honor. We invite you to join us for food and drinks at the reception following the ceremony. But could I get another round of applause for Matthew? Because thank you.
It'll never go on my uniform, but my rank badges.